Jeff Hostler, in his third season now, leading Michigan State. Notre Dame will start the second half in their dark blue uniforms. Michigan State, the home team, in their whites. It is worth mentioning that off camera, he talked about Reagan Dalton, the 6, where you played, making a bigger difference in the second half as we're at DeMartin Stadium, East Lansing, Michigan, alongside Jackie Santa Catarina. Manny, here's a shot from distance, but not on frame. Dean Linke, like Parks may have had that covered anyway, but right out of the gates, pretty good shot there from Notre Dame. That's Linke again. She's had a lot of the ball.
She went quiet a little bit in the middle of that first half, but she's been so dangerous when she gets the ball on that left flank with some space.
Both teams making some subs, particularly in the last 15 minutes. We'll see how many of those stayed out there. That's going to go off Notre Dame. It'll be a corner kick from Michigan State. That one led there by Mackenzie Anthony. Michigan State, they've had 11 different players score a goal and 8 players with an assist. Corner kick, Michigan State. Wow, that was perfect and open for Michigan State. Lurking was the player we just showed, the player that earned the corner kick, Mackenzie Anthony.
This is one that you got to put in the back of the net, wide open on the back post. It's a great service to the back of the 6. She just doesn't get that power going back where it came from, is what we used to say. And can't get that in the back of the net, but great opportunity. I think the best one yet for Michigan State.
She had that hat trick against EMU. Never scored 3 during her time at Baylor. She did have 8 goals a year ago. She's from Wheaton, Illinois, Wheaton North High School. And her fellow Baylor transfer is from Macomb, Michigan, Gabby Mueller. Apparently those two are 2 peas in a pod, really tight, and have brought a tremendous chemistry to this Michigan State team.
And for a team, like we talked about, that has so much turnover and so much to try and gain back from the players that they lost, having 2 players in your attack that already play off of each other and know each other so well is quite a bonus for transfers.
Here the Notre Dame bench saying drive, picked up pretty well by Michigan State. It's still, Notre Dame gets into the 18, drops it. It'll be deflected out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick for the Irish. Once again, it's Linke.
Here's a look at that opportunity again. Morgan Roy serving this into the box. Great little one-time shot from Linke off of a Mercado. A little one-touch.
Knocked out of there by Reagan Cox. Perfect defending to win it back for Michigan State.
That was Illig again, I believe, and Hostler talked about how great she's been in that transition. It's her first game stepping in that center back spot, but can't speak enough to how difficult it is to play like they do out of the back against a Notre Dame team who likes to high press you and make it hard, and to be able to calmly step in there and stay composed and be good defensively as well is so impressive.
There's Anthony. Yeah, Jeff Hostler texting this morning saying it's worth mentioning again, this will be the 6th day that Maggie Illig has ever trained or played at the center back position, and gets the start there today against the number 15 team in the country. And I think you're on it, Jackie. She has definitely grown into this game, and her confidence is growing as well. You see her right there.
And we haven't talked a ton about Celia Gaynor, who plays in that center back spot, who also came from the 6th position to transfer into that back. But to have somebody like her who is super composed and I'm sure just a really good leader and example for Maddie Illig in that spot, it's a good duo back there right now. Here's a look at, it's a free kick. Justina Gaynor, she should be at least 10 yards behind the ball, which is why that was a yellow card, but closes that space, tries to block it.
Haas caused Justina Gaynor his most complete midfielder. That was who just stuck her leg up right there on that free kick. Wickus trying to play it to herself. One back by Michigan State. Tremendous work there by Mueller. Let's drop back over. Anthony. Nobody home.
Michigan State, rare opportunity with Ava Gattino out of that back line, and they were just a little bit quicker and cleaner, could have taken advantage of it.
Aspek will switch it. Little step over and a finish. The score there by Mercado, and it's 2-0 Notre Dame.
Sometimes here in soccer, a miss on one end results in a chance on the other, and we saw just that, where Michigan State had a clear chance on goal at one end. They get stretched, they open the game up a little bit. Notre Dame, though, quick to transition, takes advantage of it. Aspek, good ball in, finds Mercado. Mercado just a little footwork on it to get herself free enough to take a left-footed shot and finishes that into the far post. It's a great transition goal from Notre Dame to take advantage of Michigan State, who was way spread and had some openings on the field.
There's the score of the second goal. Mercado, her second goal this season. Meanwhile, Aspek with a goal and an assist in this game today. Cox trying to square it. So Ellie Aspek scores her second goal of the season and her second assist. Meanwhile, Mercado has her second goal of the season to go with one assist. Gattino, the center back and reigning ACC Defender of the Year, leads the team with 3 goals. Wickus taken away by Notre Dame. Sargent can't get to it. I gotta believe in talking to Jeff Hostler right before the start of the second half, and kind of based on the highlights and your general feelings about Michigan State, feeling like they're in it, this could set them back a little bit. Of course, that 2-0 lead, one of the toughest. They talk about it all the time. Michigan State's got some serious work to do now, though.
They do, and again, it's a hard opponent in Notre Dame, but I think Michigan State's going to find the back of the net at some point in this. They just have to be a little bit more composed in the final third. They get really narrow in their attack. They kind of lose their width a little bit. But there's been plenty of bright spots, regardless of what the score ends up. I think Michigan State has shown a ton, and I think it's just the beginning of what we're going to see from this team this year.
Four Big Ten schools were ranked coming into the weekend. Penn State led the way at number 6, climbing. Northwestern checked in at 20. Wisconsin, Michigan State receiving votes. Future Big Ten members, UCLA top of the table, and Southern Cal in the top 20 as well. Looking to earn a corner kick, unsuccessful for the Spartans. It was Michigan State and Penn State a year ago in the Big Ten Tournament Championship game in Columbus, Ohio. A great game. You gotta feel like both these teams will challenge again. Jeff Hostler looking on. I'll tell you what, Penn State, they might have the ingredients to win another one. They won the national championship in 2015. They're pretty good.
They really are. We had fun calling them against North Carolina a couple weeks ago, but they've got a ton of talent on every line, and they're deep as well.
Yeah, since that game, a couple big wins against talented teams, West Virginia and TCU. Go white, go green chant for the Spartans. I've said it before, I'll say it again, Jackie. That jump from kind of being on the bottom was one thing, but then to finish top 5 in the country in attendance says a lot about how invested Coach Hostler and the administration is in this team.
Absolutely. I mean, to go with kind of how we were discussing it earlier, when a team is doing well and they have the personalities that that team had last year and they have the commitment to be doing it on and off the field, I think it makes for such a fun atmosphere and such a good team that you want to get behind, and it makes for a fun year on and off the field for all that are involved.
The men's team, Michigan State, off to a pretty good start. They came back to beat Army in their last game. They're actually watching from Philly right now as they get ready to play Villanova tomorrow. Nate Norman's brother, Luke Norman, played 1 year for Damon Rensing at Michigan State after transferring from Wake Forest. He was actually a starting wingback of the 2012 Big Ten Tournament Championship team, Luke Norman, for the Michigan State Spartans. Nate's brother. Nate, as I mentioned, played for the Carolina Railhawks under his now assistant, Martin Rennie. He also spent some time with Augie Mike Anhauser, the former Indiana Hoosier, at Charleston, and bounced around one more time. In fact, he said that he thinks that helped him be a better coach by being a journeyman soccer player, because he got to get different takes from different kind of coaches. By not being that great, he could spend some more time with coaches. That's what he wanted to do. He's always got a good sense of humor, Nate Norman.
And he took a Notre Dame team who historically was always top of the table in the country, and then just kind of hit a road bump as a program for a while, and he's turned this program around and has been doing big things for the Notre Dame side.
Yeah, you nailed it. When Randy Waldrum was there, they were winning national championships. They won a couple, and then he left, wanted to get in the pro game, and it didn't work out for him in Houston. He's now the top man at Pitt, and he's also the top man for Nigeria, which made a decent run in the World Cup, as you saw 3 African nations get out of group play. That's pretty impressive.
Absolutely. It was fun to watch this World Cup and just see how everything's evolved.
Some space here now for Michigan State. Time to pull one back. Wickus with a quick drop back. That was Mueller. Cleared by Notre Dame. Headed right back by Celia Gaynor. Wickus. Really difficult to get the ball away from Wickus. Wickus looking for a corner kick. She'll get one. Corner kick. Michigan State, led by number 12, Jordan Wickus, the junior out of Brunswick, Ohio, and Brunswick High School.
Nelly, I would leave your water in the shade so it doesn't get warm.
And Notre Dame player injured right now. That's number 13, Lainey Matriano, sophomore from Ohio.
She's just coming back from injury too, so heartbreaking to see her have to leave the field. She's a key piece for Notre Dame in that 6th spot in their midfield.
whistle will bring it back to Notre Dame. Gattino. One back in the midfield by Michigan State. Wickus traps it. Trying to run it down there was Anthony. There's Anthony with a little touch. Too far away from Wickus. It'll come back to Notre Dame. Yes, it's 2-0, but by no means has this been one-way traffic.
No, I think Michigan State, especially in the first half, in that kind of 30-minute mark, that Michigan State was moving and they had a ton of the game, and Notre Dame just taking advantage of their opportunities, really, because they haven't created a ton, but the ones that they have, they've put in the back of the net.
Good little check back by the Spartans, but it will come back to Notre Dame. Good look at Wickus. A lot of different teams stepping up with different players. Northwestern senior midfielder Josie Alessino is named the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week. Indiana junior defender Lauren Costello, the Defender of the Week. Aaron McKinney from Wisconsin, the Goalkeeper of the Week. And Erwin Van Bennekom, Piper Caulfield was named the Big Ten Freshman of the Week, as Indiana off to a much better start this year. Gabby Mueller.
It's a big tackle on Gabby Mueller. Two players kind of come in to put pressure on her and just swipes her leg out from under her. But got pretty airborne there, came down hard onto her side.
Yeah, that was Yang. I think Coach Hostler wanted a yellow card there. He's got a case because Yang was not very close to the ball there, Jackie.
No, that ball was well off of Mueller's foot right there.
Wickus. Wickus earned a corner earlier making this kind of run. This time earns a bump, and Wickus wants to know what's going on. I'm a little confused by that as well.
From our view, it looked like it should have been a clean corner.
If not a throw-in, like if she got to it in time, she kicked it out of bounds. It's not Wickus there. To me, it's a foul, really. And it should have been a free kick over there. No foul?
I thought it was a corner kick for sure.
Scout was on for sure on Mackenzie Anthony, as Notre Dame's done a pretty good job keeping their eye on number 14, the Baylor transfer.
And her most dangerous spots are going to be back to goal, higher up the field, or in the box. And she just hasn't had a ton of opportunities to be able to do that today. I think Jordan Wickus has done a really good job, though, of trying to play off of her, but Anthony's just been forced back a little bit and farther away from goal, where I don't think she's quite as strong in that area as she is up in the goal in the 18, finishing shots and opportunities from there.
It was Kiki Van Zanten who won it back, and then pretty good ball denied by Caitlin Parks. Van Zanten finding Osbeck, who has had a big-time game.
This is a huge save by Parks right here. She's on the 6 and such a quick, good reaction to get low, get able to get her hand on this and keep the ball. Big time save by Parks for Michigan State.
With the exception of Reagan Cox, a brand new back line back there, brand new goalkeeper for the Spartans. You throw in for Michigan State, looking for their first win over Notre Dame since 1989. That was in South Bend, a 3-0 win for the Spartans. Jeff Hostler. You will see Anthony get back into the game. Jeff Hostler talked to her a little bit right now with 27 minutes and change remaining in the game, and his team down 2-0.
Number 10, Alex Hargrave, and 13, Mia Hansen in for Michigan State.
Wickus. Gatino.
34, Christina
She's so
Lynch
good. Jordan Wickus, though, that ball is like glue to her feet. She can just do whatever she wants with it. It stays so tight to her body. I think you said it. It's so hard to get the ball off of her.
Another great touch stepping in there again by Kiki Van Zanten, who has also put a good stamp on the game. This is Van Zanten. Van Zanten will send it back across. Nobody home. If Lynch continues her run, she may have had a chance. This graduate right here, Kiki Van Zanten's been really good.
She's been so good, and she picks this ball out with a little in-to-out run and a great ball into the back post. And those types of balls almost end up being own goals sometimes because that ball is spinning. It's going into a back player who's running at her goal. It's a great, dangerous ball in.
Yeah, you nailed it. There's Illig trying to learn the job. She was the player that slid back there. Thankfully, she didn't hit it because, Jackie, I think if she did, it was going in the back of the net for an own goal. Well, what a gorgeous Sunday afternoon. So glad you're spending some time with us here on the Big Ten Network. Wickus trying to get to it. Can't quite run it down.
Anaya Hudson, just so hard to beat 1v1. Been really impressed with her ability to defend.
Well, that combo, Hudson and Gatino, have been together for quite some time. Hudson, a grad student, Gatino, a senior, who I think has the opportunity to come back another year if she wants, but you're seeing more and more players not using that COVID year and going to the next level, most of them to the NWSL. One back by Michigan State. They get it inside the 18. Little tug on Mueller.
I think she's been great for Michigan State. Would love to see her a little bit higher up the field or even in that wide spot playing and facing the game a little bit more, because I think anytime she's been on the ball, she's been able to create something, and she's got some feistiness to her defensive side as well.
Wickus had it for a moment, and then Ying, foot stuck in there. Ying going to try to run this one down. Can't get to it. It'll be throw in back to Jeff Hostler's Michigan State Spartans. Notre Dame, second all-time in national championships. They have 3 along with Florida State and Stanford, just a few behind the 21 won by North Carolina. Gator can go the other way for Michigan State. Square ball there from Senhaji. Part of that shift change. Wickus can hit it. And it'll be a corner kick. Tough angle. Wickus still made it dangerous.
I love this run, though, by Wickus and how she was able to get some space for herself. She starts inside. She curls her run out to try and get the ball at her feet facing the goal so she can one-time that ball hard and driven to the near post. It's a great opportunity by Wickes and a really smart run to set herself up to go at goal.
Michigan State coming off their most wins in the last 30 years with 17 a year ago. Take a look at the corners for the Spartans. Now 3 in the second half. Can they score off a set piece? Off the crossbar, still loose. Finally cleared by Notre Dame.
Thought there was a handball in there. I would have gone crazy. It's a great ball in. Wickes gets up and over, hits this off the crossbar. Michigan State can't get on the rebound. Notre Dame does a good job to clear it. A great win by Wickes. And we'll see if they can take advantage of some of these little opportunities and try and find some sort of momentum going forward, claw their way back into the game.
Kiki Van Zanten will come back into the game. Make no mistake, the one corner that went far post to Mackenzie Anthony probably should have found the back of the net. It was open.
That was seconds before Notre Dame got their second goal. So we're talking about a totally different game if that ball finds the back of the net.
100%. Last year, Michigan State beat 3 top 15 teams. They took care of Rutgers 1-0, beat Northwestern 2-1, Penn State 2-1, and their only 2 losses were by 1 goal. They lost at Arkansas, a really good team, 1-0, and they lost at Rutgers. Wickes. Wickes trying to stay with it. Well, you mentioned Wanaya Hudson. As good as Gattino's been, Hudson's been pretty good too.
She's so difficult to beat off the dribble. And like we said, Wickes kind of gets that ball stuck to her foot and is so hard to get the ball off of. But it's been a fun matchup to watch her and Wanaya Hudson go at it.
Throw in for Wanaya Hudson. More changes coming for Nate Norman and Notre Dame. Good look there at Reagan Dalton. That was a player that Jeff Hostler, again, off camera, told us at halftime he wants to see more of here in the second half. He kind of had a way last year when we were doing his games where a conversation with the ref.
Jeff has been incredibly quiet all game.
He's a cool cat, Jeff Hostler. Good conversation there. Would like to have that one mic'd up. Set in, and the shot is over the crossbar. Just missing there from Michigan State.
Great ball in. And then Rania Senhaji with that one-time shot.
Be a free kick opportunity for Notre Dame. Long ball sent in. Extra pass for the Fighting Irish, up 2-0. It'll be a throw in for Notre Dame. "18 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in this one." This is a great counter. Transition is on. Mueller feeling it. Michigan State with a chance here. This would be massive. Sent back across again. Wickus was right there. So unlucky. It looked like it went over. It'll be a corner kick. Corner kick, Michigan State.
Great transition from Michigan State here. Mueller starts it, finds Senhaji, and then in that right wing spot, you've got Hargrave, who tries to find Wickus right at the top of the 6. But one of the better transition opportunities for Michigan State. And they are so close to finding the back of the net here.
So Wickus is going to get a break. It'll be a short break. Ashley Naylor looks on, the senior from Manhattan Beach, California, the goalkeeper for Notre Dame, pitching a shutout right now with 17:20 remaining in the second half.
#27, Caroline Gray for Notre Dame.
Haji, senior transfer from South Carolina. See the press picking up here now for Michigan State. Results in that turnover. Need to go to it, though. Good extra effort for Notre Dame to win it back after what looked like to be a turnover. Claire Logan from Canada goes off of her head right there. Foul called against Notre Dame. It'll come back to Michigan State. This will give the Spartans a chance to get several white jerseys in and around the 6 and inside the 18. Well, instead they elect to play quick. Thought they were going to wait, Jackie.
Down 2-0 and you're in your attacking half. I think you got to move that ball quickly. But Reagan Dalton, that's one of the players that Hostler talked about at half as being key to trying to get this team going forward. And I think she's done a good job in that 6 spot at breaking up possession. Again, Notre Dame hasn't had a ton of the game. It's not like they've had a ton of attacking opportunities, but Michigan State doing a really good job breaking them down.
Yeah, you see how even it is. 6 shots for Notre Dame, 5 for Michigan State. Coutinho. No doubt in my mind, she'll be playing at the next level when it's her time.
And she's just got such a physical, challenging presence in that back line, especially when you're playing by yourself in a center back, in a 3-back. And you've got such a huge load on you to try and make sure everything is organized and make sure everything's tight, because playing a 3-back is not an easy job. And she does such a good job of organizing and leading that task.
No foul, no foul, no foul!
Weiss. And Weiss is going to earn the whistle right there, as they'll call it against Celia Gaynor.
Let's go, quick, set
Here's a look at that replay. Gainer way up on her. Results in that foul called.
Driven in, punched out of there by Parks. Another chance for Notre Dame. Down near the end line and picked up by Parks. Celia Gainer was the 6th last year. Moved back now to a center midfielder. She knows all about that name, Notre Dame. She actually went to Notre Dame Prep High School in Michigan, where they won the 2016 Michigan State Championship. Both Gainers spent time at Butler before jumping on the Jeff Hostler train.
Notre Dame does such a good job at quickly transitioning to their defense, which makes it hard for Michigan State to find any rhythm going forward, but Michigan State just kind of gets caught up in their attack.
Well, it's going to open up now a little bit. Michigan State has to go for it, so there's going to be a chance they'll be exposed just a little bit. It's Charlie Codd, a freshman from Waco, Texas, and Midway High School.
Gotcha.
The Texas pipeline to Notre Dame started back during the Randy Waldrum days. That's where he's from.
15, Morgan
A ton of
Roy
good
from
players
Notre
from
Dame.
Texas represent Notre Dame over the years.
There's another Mackenzie Anthony who's back on the field, but matching up with Ava Gattino.
Notre Dame coming off a season when they scored 56 goals a year ago. Michigan State, not on frame, but a good idea there from Senhaji. Twice this season, Michigan State has scored 6 or more goals. 6-0 over Eastern Michigan, 7-0 at Northern Colorado. So they can score in bunches. A little different challenge against this number 15 Notre Dame team that started the season in the top 5. Only those 2 ties pushed them down a little bit. Anthony's going to leave it. And Seed tied for 2nd in the Big Ten. Really 3.5 goals per game for the Spartans. None so far in this one. Michigan State will travel to Raleigh, North Carolina to take on NC State next Thursday, September 7th at 7 p.m. As we said, we knew Wickus was going to come back in. MJ Andrus
6, MJ Andrus. Number 7, Gabby Mueller.
also
And
come
12,
in.
Jordan
Coming out of the
Lucas
game is
for the
Mackenzie
Spartans.
Anthony. There are 10 minutes remaining. Gainer to Illig. Here's a turnover. Notre Dame headed the other way. Ospec's got to go and assist. She'll drop it over to Van Zanten. Ospec's going to get it back. Van Zanten. And great defense coming back in there at the last minute. Tremendous play by Reagan Cox.
Great defensive play by Reagan Cox. You felt like Notre Dame had him a couple different times here. Reagan Cox just leaps with her right leg out in the air to try and block it. But Notre Dame with a great attack between Van Zanten and Osbeck, going back and forth to each other. Van Zanten ends up taking the shot, but again, Reagan Cox flying across, blocking with her body.
Notre Dame could have let that one go out of bounds for a corner kick. They still keep it in. They were kept onside because Cox was standing on the line protecting the post. Great throw out from Parks. Now Michigan State. Good run by Michigan State as it's squared to Cod. That was Senhaji, rather. My apologies. Senhaji had it for a moment. 8 minutes and change. Fighting Irish trying to put this talented Michigan State team on ice. It'll roll out of bounds and come back to Michigan State. Jeff Hostler going to make some subs. Emerson Sargent, sophomore from Heartland, Michigan, Heartland High School, back into the game. Coming out is Illig.
We'll see if that means they're going 3 in the back and trying to push another number forward, leaving Celia Gaynor as that center back.
Yeah, I think it has to mean that. Well said, Jackie. Maddie Mercado had it for a moment, taken away. Senhaji, who was pushed. No whistle. The referee's been fairly consistent. Unless it's major, she has kept the whistle pretty silent in this one, Jackie.
Agreed. She's letting him play, which I was always a fan of as a player, but there are some crunching tackles today that make you gasp a little bit that she's let go.
The word is, when you check film, you never fouled anyone, so you're good.
I've never been called for a foul in my entire playing career.
Well, you knew this was going to be a big challenge as Notre Dame making that long run to the Elite Eight a year ago. Michigan State losing some firepower. Big-time goalkeeper, big-time goal scorer, and Lauren DeBoll, who always seemed to hit one when they needed it. But I think one thing we know, Jackie, as we roll into the Big Ten season, Michigan State's going to challenge again for a regular season title, I believe.
No, I completely agree, and I think, you know, every coach has a different way of approaching the season and what they want to do.
A little bit of trouble there. Nice job by Parks to make the goal small, as turning to spin it in there was Osbeck, who's had an MVP-type game.
She's been really good and just subtly good. I mean, she hasn't been on the ball a ton, but when she is, she creates and she makes things happen. And here you see her getting behind Celia Gaynor. Parks does a good job to come off of her line. But going back to approaching the game and how you approach your season and your preseason, I think every coach has it different, but I really appreciate a coach who goes at a season who wants to be challenged and wants to figure out the holes, the gaps, the things that they need to improve upon before you can go into your regular season games. And I think that's what Jeff Hostler wants to do. And so regardless of what the score is or the result, I think Michigan State looked really good. I think there's so many positives to take out of this game, and it's against a really big-time good opponent.
They're not done here, trying to find one. Just a step short right there as it was falling to Justina Gaynor. Boy, Kiki Van Zanten on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, she's a fun one to watch. She just kind of is constantly in the right spot.
There she is
where
again.
She can get a ball off of a player. She's kind of that get out of jail free card for me for Notre Dame, where she just fixes and solves problems wherever she is on the field.
Notre Dame, third all-time in victories, behind only North Carolina and UConn. Nate Norman in his 6th season. He's been very vocal about his own issues with anxiety, depression, and mental health, and talks about the incredible support that Notre Dame has, is very open about telling athletes the resources are there. If you need them at any school, any institution, there are people there that can help. Pretty vocal about it. And when you see it at that level, leadership role, I think it sends a strong message to your players.
Absolutely, and it's been such a big topic the last few years in women's soccer specifically. And I think it's so important to have somebody who's at the head and who's somebody that's leading a bunch of these players in terms of where they're going after college and on to the next level. To have that openness and that vulnerability about you is pretty key to some of these evolving student athletes.
And 2 young daughters, and welcomed a young boy and his wife just a few days ago. Only missed 1 day of practice.
Go number 6. I wish I knew your name.
And a coach's call. I will remind him of that later on. Martin Rennie stepped right in. And Jay Andrus, the senior from Canada. Michigan State almost needs to score off this opportunity right here if they want to have a chance. This one's sent in, far post. Wickus is there. Looks like it went off the goalkeeper, so they have a corner kick. Another good opportunity. They need to hustle over there, and they are. Approaching 2 minutes remaining in the game. Michigan State down 2 to Notre Dame. There's a good one, there's a goal. They needed to get one right then, and that'll give them a chance. Wickus has scored the goal for Michigan State, and it's 2-1.
He called it. It's a great ball into the back of the 6. Wickus, who's unmarked, gets a header on it and drives that home. She missed a little bit of that pace on that last opportunity off of the corner kick, but makes up for it on the second one. It's a great ball into the back of the net off a corner kick for Jordan Wickus.
So that'll give him a chance. Jordan Wickus, 5th goal of the season, coming off a season a year ago where she had 7 and 3 and 21. She had 2 goals and 2 assists. 4th goal of the season for Wickus. To clarify, this one headed down. Michigan State's got a chance here, folks. Sent back across, and it'll be another corner kick. Corner kick, Michigan State. They just scored off of one. They've got 90 seconds remaining. It would be massive if they could do it again. Justina Gaynor with the 7th corner kick of the game for Michigan State. They scored on their 6th. Can they score on their 7th? No, kind of mishit that one. They'll have the throw in. Wickus calling for it. Wickus.
1 minute remaining.
Can she earn a corner kick? She does. Corner kick. Michigan State, corner kick number 8.
So that'll be the first time we've seen some late game heroics at this field.
Spartans have not lost on this field in 2 years. They'll take a tie. There it is, Gatino, the ACC Defender of the Year. Look at Parks trying to get back. The goal is open. Oh, great work by Michigan State, as Kiki was going to try to get an easy one. But that's probably going to be enough to put this one on ice. How about the effort late, though, from Michigan State, Jeff Hostler's team?
You said it. 2-0 is not an easy score line when you're the one up. And there's a tired Caitlin Parks doing 2 120s.
Number 15, Notre Dame. The first time these two teams have gotten together since 2015. Nate Norman and Jeff Hostler. You got to figure those two will make it routine to play each other. But it's Notre Dame 2, Michigan State 1.
It is, and I think it's pretty important that Michigan State found the back of the net with the one that they did. Notre Dame obviously really good at capitalizing on their opportunities because they didn't have a ton of clean ones, but they did a good job at finding the back of the net twice. But Michigan State, I thought they did a good job, and I think they've got a lot to improve on, but I think it's going to be a big year for them again.
Just saw Jeff Hostler. That's Nate Norman. As they move to 3 wins and 2 ties, Michigan State will fall to 4-2. A lot of these players know each other. Good to have this rivalry.